Alright, so here's the little dress we're going to be making today. This size is a newborn to 6-month size, and you can choose to not put the ribbons in it if you like, and you can choose to not do the little rosettes. But I found the 1/8 inch ribbon and rosettes at Joann's. You can also find them at Michael's. The yarn I like is Caron Simply Soft. It's a medium weight, really soft yarn. And you will also need 1/8 inch ribbon. And I chose to do 2 colors, or you can do 1. You will need 2 sizes of hooks. The small hook that you do the edging with is an E or a 3.5 millimeter. And the big hook that you do the dress in is an H or a 5 millimeter hook. And you will also need a needle that you can fit the ribbon through so that you can weave it through the stitches. And then you'll need 3 little rosettes, and then some white thread to sew your ribbon down, and a regular needle for your thread. And I think that's all you'll need. You'll need about 2 skeins of the medium weight yarn. And come along as we make this cute little dress. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to make 2 of these pieces. So as I work along on this piece, just know that you'll have to make 2 exact same pieces. Let's talk a minute about sizes. The size that we're making today is a newborn to 6-month size. So you'll start with chain 35, and rather than tell you all of the pattern, I will just leave it here for a second, and you can pause your computer if you need to. This is size 6 to 12 months. This is size newborn that we're making. This is 2T. And this is size 3T. Now these are not going to fit every child, so I still recommend that after you have done 2 rows of this first bottom part, that you hold it up to the child and see how it's going to fit around their waist. Okay, so the newborn size that we're making, you will start with a chain 35, and then from the second chain from the hook, you will take a single crochet. And you're going to single crochet all the way over to the end. And when you get to the end, we will come back. Okay, so when you come to the end, this is how you're going to make a square end. Wherever I say square end and no decreases, this is how you'll do it. So you'll just take a single crochet in the very last stitch, chain 1, turn your work, and then in the second chain from the hook, you will take your single crochet. But this is where this dress is a little bit different. We want these this raised row design on this one. So the way you do that, second chain from the hook, you only go through the first part of the braid. Usually you would go through both like that, but for the whole dress, we're only going to go through this first part of the braid. Can you see that? Rather than go through both, you're going to go through the front part, and that's where you will take your single crochet. And then that leaves a line on the other side. So go through the front part of the stitch only and take your single crochet. And you're going to do this all the way across. Make your square edges on each side. And you're going to do this for 10 rows of only going through the front on each stitch. So do that for 10 rows and then we'll come back. Alright, so we've done 10 rows, and this is where you're going to start taking your decreases. You're going to do 5 rows of decreases. And so at the end of your row, take your single crochets all the way to the end, and then instead of taking a chain 1 right here, you'll just turn your work, and you will go in the second chain from your hook and go in through the front again, just like you've been doing. So do 5 rows with the decreased edges on each row. Alright, so we've taken 5 rows with a decrease on each row. So you will have taken 10 decreases. So after you've taken 10 decreases, 5 on each side, you will turn your work. There's a decrease on that side, and you will do 9 single crochets. You can either do 9 or 10 depending on how thick you want your straps to be. So for this dress I'm making it 9 single crochets long, and when you get to your 9th single crochet, you're going to make square edges on these sides. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work, second chain from your hook, and you'll go through the front again of that first braid part, and you will take your single crochet. So when you get to the end, right here, you will crochet 9 single crochets, get to the end, and you will make a square edge on this side. And you will do that for 9 rows. So you'll have square edges on each side for 9 rows. And then we'll come back. Alright, so when you've made 9 rows, leave a fair amount on the end, because you're going to use this to sew the straps together. So maybe leave like 10 inches or so, and then cut it off, and then just pull through. Alright, so now when we're going to make our second strap, you'll count 9 single crochets over from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just kind of put your hook in there so you can remember where you're coming from. Take your yarn, make a loop, and just pull it through. And I like to take just half of a granny knot, so I just go like this. And it's real important that you start on the right side and work it. This is your right side, so you will start working right here and going to the edge, so that your stitches are all faced the same way. So put your hook back into the hole, draw up a loop, and take 1 chain, and that's your first single crochet. And your end is right here, so make sure you're catching your end into your single crochets as you're doing this. So go through the top loop, catch the end, and take a single crochet. And so from here on out you will do it just like you did the other strap. Take 9 rows with square edges all the way up, and after you're done with this row, you can just cut your end off to where it doesn't show. Alright, so after you have the 2 sides together, it doesn't matter which 2 sides you put towards the inside, because both sides look the same at this point. So just lay them down flat together, and you're going to sew these sides together, and just use a yarn needle. So you'll sew right here, and right here, and I'll show you how to do that. These ends that we left on the tops of the straps, you can just tie them together and then that makes it easier to start sewing it. You don't have to do it that way. I like to do it in just a candy cane stitch around here. And you take 1 stitch through every single crochet, so you'll make like 9 stitches through the top. You can just kind of match them up Oh, that one got stuck. Okay, so when you get to the end, this is how I tie my knot at the end. You'll leave a little loop, pull the next loop tight, take your yarn through it again, pull that tight, and then go through the back again, and then pull the loop tight. And you can tie a knot however you like. Okay, so on all the ends, wherever you've sewn, take it through your work like that so that all your ends are hidden, and then just cut it off right next to it, and then your end disappears. So all the ends sticking out, just do the same thing, hide all the ends inside your work. And when you're all done, turn it right side out like that, and then you'll be ready for the next step. Alright, so this is how you attach the skirt. Just start at the side seam and put your hook through, draw up a loop, and I like to put just a little half knot here. You don't have to, you can just start with a loop, that would be fine too. So draw up a loop, do a single crochet, and then one more chain. Sorry, that's 2 chains. I said single crochet, but 2 chains, and then that is your first double crochet. So yarn over, and you're going to be taking 2 double crochets into every stitch all the way around. And that's my doggy here in the background, so I apologize. We have a standard poodle named Lucy. She's a fun girl. Alright, Lucy, you want everybody to say hi to you, huh? Hi, Lucy! Okay, you can be quiet now. Sorry for the interruption. Fun to say hi. Okay, so 2 double crochets into every stitch. And she doesn't like to be alone, and that's why she's sitting right here with me, so she doesn't bark. She's a fun girl. And as you're doing these stitches, make sure you're catching the end into your stitches so that it will be hidden. And after 10 or so stitches, you can cut it off. Now, if you want the skirt to be fuller than this, you can take 3 double crochets into one stitch. You could do 3 right there, and then 2, and then 3, and then that will make your skirt fuller. Or if you even want it more full, you could do 3 double crochets into every stitch. But as it is, I'm going to just have a nice soft gather on this skirt, so I'm just taking 2 into every stitch all the way around, and then after you do your first round, we'll come back. Alright, so this is the end of the first round of your skirt. And rather than ending each row by connecting it and starting a new row, I like to work my skirt in rounds. So when you come to this point, you'll take your very next double crochet onto the first double crochet of your row. So it looks like that. And as you continue making these rounds, this part where it comes up like that will just disappear into nice straight rounds. So just continue working in rounds around and around your skirt until you get it as long as you would like it to be for your child, and then we will come to that point. Alright, so when you have your dress the length that you would like it to be, this is how you start your edging. You want to stop the rounds that you've been doing anywhere you like, it doesn't matter. After you take your last double crochet, do a single crochet and then a slip stitch, and then that just makes a nice flat edge for you to start your edging on. Then switch hooks to an E hook or 3.5 millimeter, just so that the edging can be a little bit smaller and daintier looking. But start right here by chaining 4, 2, 3, 4, skip a stitch, so the second chain from your hook, the second stitch from your hook, and take a single crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a stitch, and take a single crochet. And it just makes a nice little a little circular pattern, little shell pattern at the bottom. And do that all the way around, and when you come back to here, we will come back. Alright, so at the end of the edging row, you will go right into your slip stitch that you made on the previous row, and you will make another slip stitch, and then just cut, leave enough so you can take it through with the needle to hide your edge, and then just pull it through. And then like all your yarn edges hanging out, just get your needle and then weave it in the inside of your dress. Now this is the fun part of your dress, where you get to decide what you want the front of your dress to look like. On my dress, I wanted to weave some ribbons into it, and that's why I left this little pattern, this raised stitch. And so what I did was I found some 1/8 inch ribbon, and I chose to do 2 different colors. And you can do any pattern you want on the front. You can do checkerboard, you can do whatever you would like. But I found these cute little rosettes that fit perfectly in the checkerboard pattern that I made. And I'm just going to put them like that. And then I tied the 2 different colors together in a ribbon right there. On the bottom you can see what I did when I weaved the ribbon in and out. I weaved it in through 2 single crochets that were right next to each other. And I will just do kind of a close-up so you can see what I did with the ribbon. Rather than explaining it, it's just easier to show you what I did. And then this one is a separate ribbon, and after I tied it, I tacked it down with some white thread. And you can see right here, I tacked it down, barely noticeable, you can't hardly see it. And then right here on the edge, I pulled the ribbon into the inside and I tacked it down right here with white thread. You can't hardly even see it. I didn't make it go all the way around because you want the dress to be stretchy so you can put it over your child's head. So I just did it on the front. And then right here, the places I tacked them, I did the same. I drew the ribbon into the inside and then I tacked it right here. And you can either do that by hand or on the sewing machine. If you have a sewing machine, you can do that. And so I pulled it to the inside and tacked it down. And when you're doing that, make sure you stretch it so that you don't get bubbles in it, so that your ribbon doesn't stick up. And what I used to draw the ribbon through, I just used this little needle right here, and then you can just draw it through like that. You cut it off. Okay. And then after I did that, I did the edging on the sleeves. And you're going to do the edging on the sleeves the same way you do the edging around the neck. So I'm going to show you how I do the edging on the neck, and you will just do the same theory for the armholes. And if you rather have your dress have flutter sleeves, there is a video on my YouTube channel that's called How to Crochet a Flutter Sleeve, and you could just put that on this dress. Okay, so draw through a little bit, do half a knot, and I'm starting on the back inside of the neck, but you can start anywhere on the back would be fine. So draw up a loop, take a single crochet, and there's your first single crochet right there, or sorry, not a single crochet, that is a chain. So draw up a loop and do 1 chain, and then that is your first single crochet. Okay, so take another single crochet, and as you are doing it, you are catching the end into your work so that it doesn't stick out. 1 single crochet into every stitch. And let me show you how to do the corner. when you come to the corner, rather than put one crochet into every stitch, might make it bulky. Take one in the corner like that, and then skip that very corner stitch right there, and take your next single crochet right as you're coming up, and then that will keep your corner from turning bulky. And then do that all the way around. When you come to your first chain that you did as a single crochet right here, join it with a slip stitch, cut it, and then weave the end into the back of your work. Okay, so after I sewed the little rosettes on, and I did the finishing around the neck, and again, you don't have to put the little ribbon in, but if you choose to, you just feed it under and over, just in the same pattern, so that it's all consistent. And this dress is washable. You can do the hand wash cycle on your washing machine, and I'm doing close-ups of this so you can see how I've done it. And again, I just weaved the ribbon through those little spots, and it's about 3 rows apart on the little boxes. And I did a weave right here and all the way across and right here, and I ended it at the top underneath inside. And so just kind of I'll do some close-ups so you can see how I did the ribbon. Or you can choose not to do ribbon on the front. This is just a very nice plain basic dress. And I hope you enjoyed making this with me today. Thanks. Bye-bye.